Let's get in Dilip Bhat, a joint managing director of Prabhudas Lilladher, who is joining in right now on the show. Dilip, good morning. Good to have you here. Appreciate your time. Prashant here. Just a quick, I have your top bets here, and I actually want to dive straight into some of those top bets. L&T, Dilip, is something that you like. You know, it's gone up like a rocket over the last couple of days, last 10 days or so. Now it's consolidating a bit. I think results are coming off on the 26th. There is huge expectation that with this is Mr. Naik's last quarter, results are going to be great. They can't do anything about orders, but on the rest of the P&L, numbers will be very good. Is that the basic trigger, the reason behind the rally? Go on.
Well, Prashant, I think Larsen & Toubro, just to put that in perspective, has really underperformed in the last 1.5 years, bearing for last maybe a month or a month and a half or so. So it has really picked up in the last 1.5, 2 months itself. And as what you said, maybe in the last couple of days, it has really spiked up quite a bit. But our broader call still is that as we approach 2019, I think it is the government orders which will really trigger a big, it will be a big trigger for Larsen & Toubro and for the entire infra sector. And I think that is where we think Larsen & Toubro finally playing a very prominent role in that. And I think as the execution picks up, we probably will see a lot of...
Apologies for that interruption earlier. You were completing that point rather on why you like L&T. Go on.
So I think what we will see is as the execution picks up, Larsen & Toubro possibly will come back on its own from a rather muted growth to on an accelerated mode is what we think. And more important, I think we'll also see a good improvement in the order intakes in the coming months, which will also be a good driver. But the key point which will be very closely watched is their working capital, which was around 23-24% of the sales. I think whether there is going to be some respite in that, and that also will be a good trigger. In our opinion, that also should provide a good support. So all in all, I think Larsen & Toubro looks pretty interesting. I'm not so talking about the short-term results, the impending Q4 results, but I think slightly on a longer term, even the change of this management also will bode well because a younger member is going to come on the board and he probably has a much more longer time ahead for him. So all in all, I think that looks pretty interesting.
Okay. Well, we have some more news in the telecom space where Bharti is actually going to try and contest Jio's tariff plan. This is the Dhan Dhanadan offer which they have proposed at the TDSAT. Dilip, what's your sense in the telecom space? It's tough to choose a winner now.
Absolutely. I think we are still talking about absolutely a price war which is in the offing. And the data which was supposed to be the main source of revenue and profitability, probably that attraction too has got a lot significantly diluted after the entry of Jio. So I think with this price war intensifying, and more important, I think the capital intensity of the business continues to be up and unabated. And more important, as when we talk about that 5G is also going to come, I think there is going to be still a significant capex that will have to be made. So it's very difficult to pick out any winner out over there. So I would still prefer to stay on the sides rather than try to play some of this. Maybe there will be some small momentum upside, but slightly on a longer term basis, I would prefer some more clarity before really committing to the sector.
Okay, fair enough. I know you have a couple of other stocks, and I'm going to come to those as well. But staying with the capital goods theme, L&T, in that same line, two other names. One is Thermax. I don't know if you have coverage, but a company like Thermax now trading at 35 times F519 earnings, and the other is Havells. I mean, it's had a phenomenal move. That's now trading at 43 times F519 earnings. Dilip, what do you make of these valuations?
So Prashant, some of the valuations and the valuations which you are mentioning, I think that seems to be plaguing most of the frontline and the prominent names, and that is where the real challenge for the market is, that all the known and the names which you like are already trading at a very exorbitant valuations, and that reflects a lot of optimism. But you know, I wouldn't really be in a hurry to commit as far as Thamex is concerned. Maybe they have something good going for them at the moment, but I don't think it is very adequately getting reflected either in their turnover or even in their order book position.
Okay.
So maybe the traction is gradually going to improve. So I'm not at the current levels, I would not be in a hurry to buy that. And similarly, I think Havells is more of an FMCG play that we are talking about. And I think the segment in which they are, possibly they will continue to grow at a good levels. But at these valuations, yes, I would not be a keen buyer too.
Right, right. Okay, so the other sector which you're looking at is airlines. Could you name the one pick there, and what is the underlying thesis?
So I think in airlines in the coming few years, possibly what we will see is that the growth in the passenger, the passenger segment should still be in the region of 15 to 20%. We are going to see fleet additions made by the companies, and more important, I think the broader understanding is that so long as the oil doesn't breach that $60-65 mark, I think they are still in a very comfortable space. So I think there's a good amount of tailwind which is taking place, and as the economy grows and the discretionary spending goes up, this is one segment where we'll see a lot of traction. And within that space, I think because we like Indigo as well as SpiceJet. I think there are two stocks which we feel has a good run ahead, possibly say next 12 to 18 months. It looks pretty interesting.
Okay, Indigo and SpiceJet. Dilip, before we let you go, a lot of these tire stocks are in focus. We just understand that Apollo Tyres has taken a 3% price hike, and that cumulatively now comes to around 9 to 10 odd percent. MRF already has, we understand. What's your sense? Which of the tire stocks do you like?
Well, I think amongst the ones which you're mentioning, all of them are really trading in a expensive valuation zone. It's very difficult to really recommend some of these, but JK Tyre still looks pretty interesting at the moment from the pack. The rest, all of them will continue to do well, but possibly a lot of them has been reflected already in the price. But within the pack, JK still looks that there's a fair amount of steam left in that.
All right, Dilip, thank you very much for coming in. Good speaking with you. Appreciate you joining in with that perspective. Thanks indeed. Dilip Bhat with Prabhudas Lilladher with that perspective and some stock ideas.